Om Shanti, and welcome back to yet another episode on Light of Knowledge with Sudha Didi. The topic for today is going to be from wanting to giving, a very important aspect of our life. So we have a lot of questions for Didi, so let's welcome her back to the studio. Om Shanti Didi, and welcome back to Godlywood Studio.
Thank you.
Didi, in our previous episode, we talked about Raj Yoga meditation for working professionals. Mm-hmm. And we had a very important discussion, a very interesting discussion. Today, if we can talk about another important aspect of our life, wants and needs. We go through life with a lot of wants, and sometimes I feel that God satisfies our needs, but not our wants. Mm-hmm. Why do we have so many wants in our life? I mean, even if we have enough, it's never enough.
Yeah.
Why is that?
You know, one of the reasons of this situation of the present day world is comparison.
Okay.
People have this habit of comparing the self with others, and the material things, you know, they have become like a status quo. So if I have this brand, then my status is higher.
Okay.
So they make it as a prestige issue.
Okay.
And if they see that their neighbor or their friend or their some relative has a better thing than them, then they also want to have it.
Okay.
So this habit of comparing the self with others, whether you need or not, creates these wants.
Okay. Okay.
You know, I should look modern in this world as others are like that. I should be up to the standard, you know. So everything external has become like a reason for becoming happy in the world.
Okay. But a lot of people might argue that if I don't keep the wants in my life, I may not have that drive to work. It is my wants that is keeping me going in terms of work.
Yeah.
Is that a correct statement?
Maybe it is true for some people.
Okay.
If they, you know, put the wants, you know, give the priority to the wants.
Okay.
And then as a result, this happens to them that they go on working because they want to fulfill their desires. But for me and for many, many people I have seen in my life, it is not true.
Okay.
It is not true at all. Because you work, you know, we are born in this world not only to fulfill our desires, our wants. We are born in this world to do something for others, to do something for the welfare of the world. You know, so therefore, there is no scarcity of the work to do. There is so much. It is not just for fulfilling your personal wants, you know. Then you can do a lot for the benefit of others also.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess so we need to have a shift from being selfish to being selfless. Maybe.
Right, yes.
Right. But if I stop wanting things, will I still be motivated to get up every morning and go to work?
When you say stop wanting, what exactly you mean? You know, you can't stop wanting.
Okay.
Because when we say that, as I told in the last our meeting, that I am a soul, and the soul is a conscient entity, and one of the qualities of the conscient being is desire.
Okay.
You can't free yourself from desire.
Okay.
You can't. So you can't stop wanting.
Okay.
The question is what kind of want it is.
Okay.
What kind of desire it is. It can be a selfish desire. It can be an ignoble desire. It can be a noble desire.
Correct.
You see? So you can't stop wanting, but what do you want? That is the most important thing.
Very important differentiation.
Yeah.
So if you could please elaborate more on that.
Yeah. So for example, I want to serve. I want to serve. I want to help some, for example, poor people. I want to help some poor children to learn something. I want to make my health good so that I can use my body for the service of others. These are all wants.
Right.
And so therefore I want to get up early, I want to do some exercise, I want to clean my home, I want to set up my cupboard, I want to cook in the kitchen, I want to try a new recipe. You know, all these are wants. But these wants are not those wants which are like material wants,
Okay.
which make a person run after, you know, grabbing others or, you know, earning by this way or that way, and so on and so on. This is what is be happening in the world. This is why probably Mahatma Gandhi said there is enough to fulfill the needs of the people, but there is nothing to fulfill the greed of the people.
Very true.
So when wants change into greed, you know, and not the need, that creates the problem.
Okay, so it is okay to have wants, but we have to ask ourselves what kind of wants I have,
Right.
what kind of
Yeah,
desires I
yeah.
have. Is this the spiritual aspect, if you were to look at wants and giving in terms of spirituality? When you talk about giving, we've heard so many times that giving is receiving.
Right.
And to many, this just becomes a statement in the mind. But what is the deeper spiritual understanding when someone says giving is receiving?
So when we talk of giving, giving is not just the question of something physical, something gross, something material. There are so many things to be given. You know, like you have some good understanding
Okay.
of a particular aspect of life. You can share that understanding with others. When you share that understanding with others, your understanding deepens.
Just by the virtue of having that conversation?
Right.
Okay.
While you are explaining,
Okay.
your understanding deepens.
Right, correct.
You are happy. You have this aim of giving happiness to others
Okay.
by any mean. For example, you helped somebody, you gave some advice to somebody, you cooperated in something, and the person became happy. And when they are happy, their happiness returns to you,
Okay.
and you become even more happy than they are.
Didi, I'd like to take a specific situation at this point to just get more into the details of this giving aspect. You know, again, in my readings, I had read that if you are lacking something in your life, if you're missing something, you wish that for another person. Say, for example, if I want to have a good job in a big company, and I'm not able to for some reason. So if I just wish, and another friend of mine is, say, for also applying, you know, for a similar position in that same company, bigger company. So by just wishing that, oh, he should get that job or she should get that job, how will that help me get this big job that I'm looking for? I mean, how is giving that thought going to help me in that respect?
You see that we need to underline this thing. When you give, you do not give with the thought of getting.
Okay, okay, that's important.
That is very important.
Okay.
You give because you want to give.
Okay,
That's all.
okay,
And you should not even have the thought that this return will come to you someday.
okay,
When you are sowing the seed, you know, giving is like sowing the seed.
okay,
When a person sows a seed, you know, we know that the seed will grow
okay,
and it will give the fruit. But it is not for 100% sure that old man, for example, sowing the seed of mango, and this mango tree will come after 40 years, and this person, this old man, will live for 40 more years. Not sure.
okay,
But he's sowing the seed, but if not he, somebody will eat it.
correct.
But the soul is eternal.
Right, right.
This soul will leave the body and take another birth. This mango, maybe not exactly from this tree, but in his next birth or next to next birth, the mangoes will come to him
Okay,
for 100% sure.
okay,
Because it is a theory of karma.
right,
You know, when you sow, you will reap.
right,
And maybe immediately, maybe after a few years, maybe in your next birth. But when you do some good thing, you do not expect any return of that. You do it for the sake of
for the
doing.
sake of doing, okay.
Yeah.
That's an important distinction.
Yeah.
But you know, you explained to us very well about want in terms of materialistic wants, spiritual wants. But in general, when you say the word want, it has like a slightly negative connotation to it. So how can we bring, a spiritual dimension to that?
That this needs actually the understanding.
Okay.
That when I say I, the word I am not just this body.
Okay.
One of the reasons of people's material wants being increasing is that they identify themselves with the body.
Okay.
And the thought is that the body is not going to live eternally. So for whatever time this body is going to live, so I should be able to enjoy everything during this period of time.
Okay.
And therefore, I should have more and more and more and more and more, because I do not know when this body will finish. And so this wrong understanding, this misconception of that this I am the body and this will die one day, this also creates more wants.
Okay.
But when I understand that when I am not only this body, I am soul plus body.
Okay.
Actually, I am the soul who has this body.
Right.
The soul is eternal and the body is not eternal. It is perishable. And so therefore, when I think of wanting what my body needs, it needs clothes, it needs food, it needs air, it needs this, whatever I know. And so I make arrangements for that. But then I also need to think what my soul needs. The soul needs peace, the soul needs happiness, the soul needs love, the soul needs wisdom, the soul needs joy. The soul also needs this. What arrangement I am making for that?
Okay.
So when I make this balance, of the body and soul, then I do not get rid of the physical wants, but my physical wants begin to reduce.
Okay.
That is, they change. The wants change into needs.
Okay.
This I need. So I remember here Socrates. He said that he comes out of his home every day and stands in front of his shop, looks at the showpieces, and looks that they are very beautiful. And the thought comes, let me enter the shop. But then another thought comes, and he asks the self, do I need this? And the answer comes, no. And then he moves further to the next shop, this every day, every day like that. So many times, people buy things because they are beautiful.
Yes.
Because they are beautiful. Or they buy things because they have heard that these are delicious things. And or they go to a particular restaurant or a hotel, because it is like very prestigious and so on and so on and so on. So as a result of that, that gradually these needs begin to change into wants, and the wants, they have no end. They have no end at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a very important question to ask, do I really need this?
Yeah.
It will also add up to the clutter of the house, because unnecessarily you're buying and purchasing things and making a big bill on your credit card if you can't afford to. and so much, I have heard that if you have too many things in the house, it also stagnates the energy in the house.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
And this is why, it is said that you need to, sort out after every few days, a couple of months, that what is extra there. Anything extra in our mind is a burden. Anything extra in our home is a burden.
Also a burden, yeah.
And anything physical, extra, it also accumulates some kind of dust in it. And so naturally the atmosphere in the home is not very fresh.
Not very fresh.
And so therefore, when there is space there, some free space, you feel more light there.
Right.
And it is very good for the body and for the soul both.
Right.
And so in this way, we are able to economize not only our money, but also our time.
Sure.
Our time, our energy also. You have to dust less number of dust out less number of things,
Absolutely.
and you have more space in your
Absolutely,
home
yes.
for the more valuable things,
Right. Right.
and so on. Yeah.
A friend of mine used to say that for every new dress she purchases, she gives away one old dress.
Yeah.
So that is also a good way of keeping the balance.
Keeping the balance, but at the same time, you need to ask if the old dress is enough good. Is there need to buy the new one?
That's also true.
Is there need to buy the new one? Because maybe you could use this money for somebody,
Very true.
something good, some charity.
Very true.
Yeah.
Didi, I had a question. Some people may say, I don't have anything to give.
Yeah.
Maybe they are just thinking in terms of physical things or like items or,
Yeah.
what should such a person tell himself or herself if they say, I don't have anything to give?
I told you in the beginning also that it's not a question of only physical things. It's a question of, first of all, a big heart. Big heart when you are ready to give even that which you do not have enough.
Okay.
For example, you have 2 pieces of bread and you are feeling hungry. And there is one person sitting beside you is also hungry and does not have to eat, anything to eat. So if you can share with that person, if not one piece, maybe half the
Half
piece.
a piece, yeah.
So that will require a big heart. You are very thirsty. You have just one glass of water with you, but there is another person is also very thirsty. Maybe you can share with some part of that water with that person. Like in the, like when people are in the battlefield, at war place and so on and so on. So they have this attitude because this can save the life of a person.
That's right.
This can save the life of a person.
That's right.
So sometimes it's, I don't have enough to give. It's not that question.
Okay.
It's the question of generosity of the heart.
Okay.
Giving of time, for example, it is very important.
Correct.
There are some people who want 5 minutes of your time, but you are a very busy person. But if you have that love for humanity or love for that person, you will try to find few minutes, maybe not 5, 3 minutes or 2 minutes or 4 minutes to give. But then you will give this, like what you call quality time.
Okay.
When you are focused to that person who wants your time, you are not thinking of your job, you are not thinking of your any other work at that time. You say to that person, I don't have 5 minutes. I can spare 2 minutes definitely, but you give this 2 minutes quality time.
Right.
It's also giving.
Right.
If you are able to give some suggestion to a person.
True.
If you are able to give some advice to a person. If you are able to give a smile to a person.
Sure.
This is also giving.
Definitely, yeah.
It's also giving.
Yeah.
If you can just say hello to a person, So just a gesture, this is also giving. There are many things to be given, many, many things, and which can be given, and this will make a culture of giving. A culture of giving. When you enter your workplace, you just smile. You have already given. The
Very
atmosphere
interesting.
changes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Didi, if we can bring this wanting and giving to a family scenario, it's such a close unit and everybody is living together in this unit. And there is a lot of tension sometimes in the family. And I'm believing that the wanting and giving aspect is playing a big role. Husband wanting or expecting a lot of things from his wife, and the wife wanting things from the children. If that is not satisfied, if that aspect of the life is not satisfied, then that can create much more tension in the family.
Very true, very true. And this one of the reasons of tensions and stress in the world or unhappy relationships is unfulfilled expectations. When a person only expects from others that, considering that my desires should be fulfilled, I should get attention, I should get more attention, I should get more care, I should be treated much better than as I am treated now, and so on and so forth. the more the expectations, the more the peacelessness, and the more tension in the relationships, Because if everybody expects from others, then who is going to give?
Give, right.
Who is going to give? All the time expecting, actually, if it is not a too heavy word, I will say it is like becoming a beggar, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Like all the time spreading my
Give me,
hands.
give me.
Give me, give me, give
Yeah.
me, give me. And, this is not dignified. This is not dignified. Dignity is in giving. This is why probably the deities and the gods and goddesses, they're always shown
Right.
with their hand of blessing.
True.
Very soon there will be Deepavali,
True.
and people will worship Lakshmi, and Lakshmi is shown with her hands giving, the wealth flowing from her hands. And the more it flows, she does not become empty, it is
Right.
full.
It just, yeah.
Yeah, so expectations bring a person down in his dignity.
Yeah.
Even if you do not have enough, but don't expect it from others.
Okay.
Just become worthy, and you will get.
Okay.
And you will get. These things actually take, not only the material things. For example, love. I want that people should love me more. I want to be loved. Okay, I ask myself, am I worthy to be loved? Number two, I ask, do I express love? How do I express love? Until I give, how will I get it?
Right. Right.
So if I want respect, I must learn to give respect. If I want attention, I also should give attention. I want to be cared, I should care.
Right.
And so, it is like, it's a law. It's a
Right,
law.
right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, people don't realize that or they may realize it's a give and take, but the heavy lifestyle, busy lifestyle somehow demands so much from us on a daily basis that if the husband comes home from work and the wife has been busy herself at home with the kids and all the work she does at home, they come home and they're expecting each other to give. The wife thinks, he has to treat me with more respect and love and understanding because I've been doing so much all day for the kids. The husband comes home thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
So both are going to be expecting from each other, and it's not going to be a good situation.
Yes. Here comes the question of understanding each other
Okay.
and valuing each other's role. Husband's role is earning money, for example, and wife's role is taking care of the family. Both the roles are important.
Yes.
And there is a need to understand each other's role very well and value each other's role. And the result is, when we value each other's role, then we don't feel heavy to take care of that person.
Okay.
For example, in this particular example, the wife knows that at this time her husband will come home. So she knows that he will be hungry, he will be needing this or that or what. So in advance she makes preparation for that, And the husband knows that the wife is at home all the day working in the kitchen and taking care of the kids and so on and so on. So now is the time to come home and to ask with a smile that how is everything and so on. So when they value each other's role, then there is no tension.
Okay.
And then there is no expectation.
Right.
Then you are happy to fulfill the hopes, you can say, of other person. And when there is not the realization of the value of each other's role, then it becomes heavy, then it becomes obligation.
Correct.
That I am doing it for you.
Right.
The husband says, I am earning for you. I am working hard for you people. The wife says, I am working for your children.
Yes.
I am taking care of your home.
Yeah.
But it is our home.
Yeah.
It is our family. And we are working for our family.
Right. Right.
We have created this family. So we are working for ourselves.
Right. Right.
And so when this understanding comes, then there is no heaviness and no expectation.
Didi, what you just said made a lot of sense in terms of the give and take that should be in a relationship, be it a couple or any kind of a relationship. So thank you for this beautiful explanation, and thank you for being with us. And we look forward to having you again for further discussions.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Didi talked to us today about the difference between wanting, needing, and giving. And it's not about what I have. A very important message she had for all of us is, do we have the heart to give? We could have very little, but if we have the heart to give, then we can share what we have. I hope you found this discussion interesting and also helpful. Please write to us if you have any questions or concerns, and we will definitely get back to you. Keep watching us, and we will bring a lot more interesting episodes to you in future. So thanks for watching, and take care.